Hey guys, it's me. Happy Saturday. It is November 10th, 2018. It is about 1:15 in the afternoon. I was going to have a 1 o'clock live class because I do have plans this evening, but didn't seem like many people were available for a live. So I'm just going to go ahead and do this tutorial quickly for all of you. I know it seems like a little bit late in the season to be doing a fall wreath, but this is one that was scheduled, I think it was scheduled for September, and I had to keep pushing it ahead for whatever reason. It's been a rough couple of months for me here, but we're getting back on track. Things are going to be okay. You like my Syracuse shirt? Yes, I am in upstate New York, and I am a Syracuse fan. My daughter graduated from SU. It's really cold out today. Do I have a stain here? I hate when I think I see a stain and I didn't know it was there. Anyway, yep, we'll take care of that later. I hate when you don't really notice something like that until you're in front of a camera. Anyway, hold on, I'll be right back. I locked myself in my room. Hold on. Okay, anyway, it was really beautiful and sunny this morning, and now all of a sudden, I just had to wipe that off because it was bothering me. I don't know what it was. And now all of a sudden it's getting really windy and the skies are getting dark, and I just checked and it looks like we're going to get some snow this afternoon. No, I am not ready for snow. What are you going to do? So I wanted to show you guys quickly, when I work with Grapevine, which I really don't work with Grapevine very often, but when I do, and I think I forgot to do it with this one, I got this one from Hobby Lobby, I believe. I usually take it outside and I snip off some of the extra little branches and loose pieces. Sometimes you get leaves and whatnot. I actually take it right outside and I shake it off and I bang it with my hand, and all these little leaves and pieces of stuff come out. And I forgot to do it with this one, but this one actually looks pretty clean. There's a few little squiggly branches sticking out. I just like to try to clean it up a little bit. A lot of times when you get these grapevines, there's a ton of leaves like hanging out, and you don't really want all that. Like, look at all this like loose stuff here. You can just kind of reach through and pull all that out, or snip off these little extra squiggly pieces. But this one looks pretty. This one looks pretty clean. It's not too bad. You don't want to take out too much of the stuff because, you know, that's what adds to the rusticness of a grapevine, is the little branches. You don't want it to look too perfect because then it won't look natural. So these little pieces that I have in here, I'm just going to kind of leave them. I made a mess on my table. Now, one problem I noticed I had, and I think I noticed this last night when I was doing the tomato cage class, is I bought a brand new thing of floral wire, and I cannot find it anywhere. So to attach my angel, and I'm still going to be able to have her hanging up for a couple of weeks. It's not the end of November yet, so it's still technically fall. She came from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if you can still find her there. I actually have two of these. I had one from last year and I have one from this year. The other one I put in swag. I took her hanger off. She had a hanger. But I can't find my floral wire. So what I'm going to have to do to attach her, I'm going to put her on first. She's got a little wire going around her waist. I'm just going to get a zip tie, or I could even use a pipe cleaner and feed that right through her little wire there and attach her to one side of my grapevine like that. She's going to go right on one side. Don't worry about the little letters, though. They'll hang back the way they're supposed to be hanging after you. Oh, my hot glue gun smells really strong. After you get all the other stuff on it, hang around the wall, the little letters will fall into place. Here's a zip tie. I'm going to use sort of a heavier one. But she's not very heavy, so I'm just going to go ahead and slide the zip tie right through her, the little wire going around her waist, like that. And I'm just going to zip tie her right to the grapevine. So Let's see the best way to do this. Now, I know a lot of times people typically, and I have a wreath stand, but for some reason, it doesn't matter what type of wreath I'm working on, whether it's a grapevine or whether it's a mesh or burlap or whatever. I can't work with the wreath standing up. Like I've tried to like stand it on the wreath stand, and I'm trying to just feed this through here, and do my wreath that way, but I just can't. My wreath, it has to be flat or I can't do it. It just won't work for me. So I've managed to feed my zip tie through. That's all I wanted to do. And that's why I kind of got a longer one, because you want to make sure you have enough to pull it all the way through. You can use a pipe cleaner too if you want, or again, I was going to use floral wire, but that little thing of floral wire that I bought the other day has just mysteriously vanished. So, whoops. I was trying to get the zip tie to catch here. Let me just lay it down. Let's try it that way. There. It's down here pretty darn tight, so I don't think she's going to go anywhere. But I'm wondering if just that one zip tie is going to be enough to hold her, because she's just basically attached around her middle right now. Little letters are annoying. I will not lie. This is a really pretty angel, but you know, half the stuff is made in China, wherever the heck they make it. And you know, I had to look through probably like 7 or 8 of these angels before I found one that didn't have a weird smile and the paint wasn't crooked, or so that can be a little bit frustrating. I think I'm just going to put I don't really want it to go under this wire. I want the A to be on the top. Try to bend this down a little bit here. There. So again, I was going to get my wreath stand out, but it's just easier for me to work with it laying flat on the table. And I think that looks pretty good. I like the way she's situated here. Let me just lay her letters back down here. I guess I could, if I wanted to, attach it down here too, but I don't think I'm going to need to do that because she's light. She's not going to go anywhere. All right, you can see these letters are annoying me. I'm just going to have to let them hang for a minute here. So she's on here pretty good. She's just going to hang out on the right side of the wreath, and then the flowers and the bow are going to go on the left side. And I believe this is a 15-inch grapevine, I'm pretty sure. Let's fix her leaves a little bit. There we go. If I wanted to, I could probably do a little hot glue on the back and secure her at the bottom too, but once she's on the wall, she's going to be fine. Not going to go anywhere. Okay, let's get the rest of this done. This is going to be a pretty quick project. When you're working with grapevine, it's pretty easy. You're just gluing a bunch of stuff on, but we're going to do a bow first. And I've had this ribbon for quite a little while, and I really want to use it. I haven't used it anywhere yet. This fall ribbon. It's really pretty. It's a 2.5 inch, and it's got some leaves in the middle. Now, I might do a stacked bow. I did one the other day for my Christmas tree, and I really, really liked the way it came out. But I think I better grab a pipe cleaner first before I get started, because I need to be able to attach my bow with something. The only ones I have over here are, how many do I have? I don't think it really matters what color I use, because not going to be seen. I'm just going to grab one of these red ones. It's handy. This red one is handy. So I'm going to grab a red one. Whoops. Okay. Get my pipe cleaner handy to put my bow on. So what I mean is we're going to do a stacked bow. What I meant by that is I'm going to do one bow with a 2.5 inch with big loops, and then on top, it's called a stacked bow. So we're going to do this one. I think I'm going to do my tail. I'll do my tail around 8 inches, I think. That'll be good. Okay, so find how long you want your tail to be, and then go ahead and pinch it there. Okay. This is going to be a bigger bow. So this one is going to be, what 8 inches do I want? I think 8 inches is going to be good. So measure out 8 inches, make your first loop. And pinch it in the middle. This is always the most difficult part of making the bow, is the pinching. If you have a bow maker, by all means use your bow maker. And then there's the twist, because you want the pattern side up. Do your twist. Another 8 inches. Kind of cross it over. The first loop that you made, you can kind of make sure they're the same. Cross it over and pinch again. Twist. Another 8 inches. And we're just crossing back and forth with our loops. And don't let that pinch go in the middle. Then you're going to lose all your loops. You don't want to lose your loops. Now, anybody can really do one of these as long as you go slow. But it's just the pinching and the twisting that can, you know, frustrate people. So that's why we have bow makers. So keep making your loops, pinching in the middle. Don't let go. Do 6. Side. I've got 2 on this side, so I need 1 more. This is going to be our last loop. Twist it again. This is a really pretty ribbon, 8 inches. And this is our last loop. Don't worry about getting your loops adjusted and pretty until after you put your pipe cleaner on. And then you can go ahead and you can adjust your loops and pull on them, and another 8 inch tail. It might be too long of a tail, but you can always shorten it. Get your pipe cleaner. You're all still pinched in the middle here. So you're all still pinched here. 3 loops on this side, 3 loops on this side. Your 2 tails on the bottom. I've got my hand in the middle here. Okay? I probably should have picked a different color pipe cleaner, but in all honesty, you're not going to be able to see it once we get it. So go right down the middle, right over all your loops. I like to kind of pull it up a little bit and just twist. And let me tell you something, ladies. I never used to be able to make a bow. I was never able to make a hand-tied bow. Remember the first time I tried to make one in class, and I cried because it was just embarrassing. I couldn't do it. And my hands were fumbling all over, and my loops were coming undone. Just take your time. Go slow. That's the key. Now, I may just go ahead and do that. Okay, and put this one bow on there. I think I may just do that, but what I meant by a stacked bow, let me get this fed through here and I'll tell you. I think this one bow is going to be good enough. I don't want to go, because we're going to add other stuff. I don't want to go too crazy with ribbons and bows here. Just feeding it through my grapevine. Make sure I have it. My tail's going down. Yeah, and I have to squish my bow for a minute here, so I can. That came out pretty darn nice, if I do say so myself. For a quick, what is it, 3 minutes took me to make that, 3-4 minutes. Now you can kind of pull on it and play with your loops a little bit. Make sure that your tail stayed down. They kind of want to have a mind of their own sometimes. Because I might even put like a leaf or something in the middle, or even a pumpkin. I'm not quite sure yet. But if you wanted to, I'm just going to dovetail the ends here. That's a pretty nice bow, if I do say so myself. Dovetail your ends, just kind of fold it over like that, if you can see. Just like that, and just snip at an angle, and you have a nice little finished end of your ribbon. Just like that. Now, get this out of the way. What I wanted to tell you is, if you have another ribbon that's, say, a 1.5. Do I have a 1.5 here that would go good with this? Let me look and see. I thought I had like a gold. Here. This one's a little bit sparkly, but just to give you the idea of what I'm talking about here. Whoops. This is very sparkly. You could take a 1.5-inch ribbon, okay? Do the exact same thing that you did to make that ribbon. But what you would do is you would make your loops smaller. So now we have an 8-inch tail here still, okay? Pinch it. So instead of measuring out 8 inches, I would measure out 6. So we're going to get 3-inch loops instead of 4. I'm just going to go ahead and show you quick what I mean. I'm going to do the pinchy again because this has only got the sparkling on one side. Measure out to 6. And I probably would only do 3 loops. Let's turn it this way. 3 loops on each side instead of 4, because when you're doing a stacked bow, you want your bow that's on top of the other one to be smaller, because if it's the same size as the one underneath, it's going to hide the one underneath and you're not going to be able to see it. So we're just going back and forth, pinching in the middle as we go, because I want to get 3 loops on either side. That one had 4. This one's going to have 3. It's going to be a little bit smaller. This ribbon's a little bit stiff and kind of hard to pinch. A little bit stiff, it's a lot bit stiff. lot bit. Is that even proper grammar? Okay, I've got 3 on this side. I've got 2 on this side, so I need 1 more. Pinch it again. Get sparklies everywhere here. This is a really, really sparkly ribbon. Obviously, I would still need to put another pipe cleaner on here. We can't use the same pipe cleaner. This is a little bit of a smaller bow. And what you would do is very, very stiff ribbon. Very, very stiff. You can feel it. It's almost like, I don't know what this material is. So you would take the second smaller one that you made, and it would go right in the middle of this one. We just attach it real quick, because maybe I'll even keep it on there. I gotta see how it looks. I kind of like the way this one ribbon looks by itself, but let me feed this one through and put it on there and see if I like both of them together. Just going right on top of your first bow with your second smaller one. It's called a stacked bow, obviously, because they're stacked right on top of each other. I think this might just be a little bit too sparkly for my taste, though. As far as this wreath is concerned, I don't really want an overabundance of sparkle. This loop is a little bit too big in the middle here, so I'm trying to adjust it just a little bit. Well, you kind of need to go slow, so your loops are all about the same size. But it just sits right on top of that first bow that you put on there. This is why bows make me crazy, because I'm very OCD when it comes to the shape of each loop. And yeah, and I've got like sparkles everywhere because this ribbon is just so sparkly. My goodness. But again, we would dovetail the ends here. I'm going to have a big sparkling mess here when I'm done. That's part of crafting now, isn't it? That's the thing. I could just sit here and play with my bow forever, and then we don't get anything else done. But that's a stacked bow. I've just got one smaller ribbon with loops on top of a ribbon with, these are 3-inch loops, these are 8-inch loops. meaning, well, I mean 4-inch loops, because I measured it out 8 inches and then I folded it in half into my bow. So that's what I meant by that. Maybe I will just keep that on there. I kind of like it. I want to try to hide this tail because it's sort of like taking over my bow. I want to sort of be underneath like that. I want these to be on the top with the leaves because I like those better. See that? So you put your bow on first. You have your sign. Whoops. You have your sign. You have your bow. And then you just got to start adding everything else. That's it. That's all you got to do. Why does it look so weird when I hold it up to the camera? It looks better when I'm looking down at it. When I hold it up to the camera, and it looks weird. It looks like it's crooked. Can you see what I'm dealing with here? Look at all these sparklings. I thought I had another ribbon that didn't have so much sparkle in it, but I couldn't find it. Yep, ladies, I get crazy when it comes to making bows. Let's try holding it up again and see. That's good enough. I'm not going to sit there playing with my bow all afternoon. But after I get done with the recording, I probably will. But there, we can even be done with that, you know. We don't have to add anything else, but we will. We'll add some more stuff. Let's see. Be vacuuming out sparkles for hours here. Oh, who's messaging me here? Okay, let's add some more stuff here. Take my ribbon up off the floor. Oh, by the way, if any of you guys ordered the Grinch wreath kit, I got my Grinch dolls in the mail today. I had to wait because I had to order them from an overseas distributor, and I had no idea when they would arrive. That's why I haven't put the wreath on the calendar yet, and I'm also waiting for my signs. But look how freaking cute that is. Is that the cutest thing you've ever seen in your life? I don't know why his head's kind of turned to the side. He's just kind of being snarky. But isn't that so cute with his little Santa hat? I just love that. He came from China today. I got about 8 of them here. All right. Let's move our mess out of the way and start adding some other stuff. I've been really dying to use these flowers that I got. I got these several weeks ago at Michael's, actually. These fall flowers. I've been sitting in my corner here forever. And they're on really, really long stems. So there's a little ribbon in here. I think I bought this ribbon to use for the wreath, and I forgot it was in there. So, well, I already have my ribbon on. So much for that. And I thought these were really, really super pretty. I got some green to use because you got to have a little green in there. I got some greenery, but I thought these were gorgeous. I'm not even quite sure what they are. They almost look like little fall, like roses. Aren't those the prettiest things ever? Okay, let me move some of my I've got a pin sitting in here too, but let me move some of these scraps out of here. Some of these grapevine scraps. Okay. Now, let's snip some of these off a little bit because I want to put these on first. Gotta have something that's got a little bit of height. I don't really want to see height, length to it. These are really thick. I think I need to get a thicker pair of clippers. But you know, if you look closely at some of these flowers, you can see that they have like little notches in them. I think that's really where you're supposed to do your clipping. I think they put those there for a reason. Maybe, maybe not. This one's really, really thick. I'm gonna have to cut this up a little farther because that's not gonna work. That's just really too thick for me to cut. I'm just gonna snip off the flower part and stick that in somewhere. That's really, really thick. Oh goodness, that one just came off. There we go. Lordy. Okay. I'm going to start putting some of these in first because they're longer. Now, typically I will go ahead and just start adding. I don't glue them yet. I just kind of stick them in first because I want to make sure that I like where they are before I do any gluing. Okay. Oops, this one just came out. Now, what I used to do when I did Grapevine, I used to work with Grapevine a lot when my kids were little, but you don't make the mistake of adding your greenery first and then covering it up with all your florals, because then what happens is you can't see your greenery. So what I do now is I add my florals and then I kind of stick the greens in around the florals. That way you can still see them. I lined a whole grapevine wreath one time with these really pretty greens that I had. This really pretty greenery that I had, and then I couldn't see. I put the florals in, and then I couldn't see my my florals or my greenery because I covered it all up. So we're just going to kind of go right underneath the bow here. Put some on the bottom. You kind of want it to be shaping around your wreath. These I'm probably going to have to glue in because I just have little pieces that kind of came off, so I don't want to not use them. I'll just put a little bit of green, a little bit of glue on the bottom so they stick. It doesn't really have any stems. This one's got a stem. The other one's kind of popped off, so I do want to use them. I don't want to throw them away because they're pretty. Again, ladies, this is a quick project. Grapevines are quick. You pretty much just have to cut all your flowers and then figure out where you want to put them. The bow took a little time. Wearing the angel on took a couple seconds there, a couple minutes. There's one more flower bud that fell off that I can just kind of stick somewhere here, just like that. Oh, it's getting windy out. And it doesn't want to stick, so hold on. I just got glue all over my hand and it's burning. I really don't like to work with hot glue. There. Okay. I don't want to cover up my flowers with my bow. Okay. So we have these on first, and that looks pretty. You could even actually put your ribbon around like that. It doesn't have to go straight down. You can kind of tuck it in so it's like behind like that. You see what I mean? So it kind of runs along your grapevine there. You could do that as well if you wanted to. We'll see if I like that after. I might want to change that. So it's sort of like behind your flowers. I don't want to cover up my flowers with my tail here. Yeah, that's all right. Okay. Now, what else do I want to put on here? Oh, these are really pretty. Yes, I want to use these too. Look at these. I'm not sure what they are. They're kind of like leafy things. But I'm going to put a couple of these in too. I really like those. I think, I have a tendency to buy too much stuff without really being quite sure what I wanted to use. I just was grabbing stuff, thinking, oh, that would look good. Oh, this would look good too. And then by the time you get home and you start putting your wreath together, and you have too much stuff. But I like these little leafy things. I'm going to try to find some room to put just like one or two in. I mean, I'm not going to use them all. Just like one or two, just to add a little bit of almost like paper. They're very papery. They have a very papery feel to them. Very papery. I don't know if I like that here. This loop is way too big over here. It's bothering me. This loop on my bow. Where can I put this? That'll work. So I just put a couple of those little papery things in. I have more here, but again, I don't want to add too much. Save that for next year. And I'm just going to kind of put some, actually, what I want to do first is do some leaves maybe. Or I do have these really pretty berries too, but that might be overdoing it a little. Let me see if I can stick this right here. So they lay right on top of these florals. I like those berries. I think I had them for another project and I ended up not using them. These berry stems here. I'm just going to lay them right on top of the florals. So they kind of hang out on top a little bit, peek out a little. Just like that. See, I have some on the top and I have some on the bottom. This bow is really bothering me. It's not, these tails are not hanging away. I think it's the tails. I think my tails are just Maybe I don't even need the tails because they're kind of like getting in the way. Let me hold this up for a second here because the tails are kind of going off to the side. I don't really want them going off to the side. Let me see if I can't try this. Or just make my tails a little bit smaller. I think I'm going to have to do that because they're sort of just getting in the way. And I hate to cut off so much of the tail, but they're like getting in the way of my florals here. So we got to do away with some of these tails. We're just going to make little tiny tails, just like that. And I think that's going to make me a lot happier. Yes. And my computer's making noises at me. If somebody sent me a message, I think that's what that means. So we're cutting our tails down a little. And I hate to waste ribbon, but it's just not working the other way. They're getting in the way. So now they can sort of lay on top of the florals and not be in the way. Let me just fix this one. It got cut a little bit wonky here. Very hard to cut a dovetail when you have your bow already on your wreath. Come on. Without cutting yourself in the process. There we go. So I got little baby tails now, and I think I like those better. And this loop is a little bit too big, so I'm trying to like tuck it in so it's not popping out so much. There. So we just have some little baby tails sticking out, and I think I like that a lot better. Some little baby tails. That, I think that looks a lot better because then it's not getting in the way of my other stuff. The tails are just kind of shorter, there we go. I think that looks better. Okay. I'm going to put some leaves in now, I think, and then I'm going to go ahead and put, these leaves are way too big. I don't like those. I want some smaller ones. I want some smaller leaves. So ladies, we're going to play fill in now. I'm just going to stick some leaves in here and there. We're almost done, basically. This is not a difficult project, like I said. It is not difficult at all. Just kind of going in and sticking some leaves in here and there. Oh, that wind is crazy out there. I don't know if you can hear that. You don't want to get too crazy with adding a bunch of leaves and stuff because sometimes less is more. I've always liked that phrase, less is more. So I'm just going to do maybe one more little bunch up in here. I've got two little bunches here. Whoops. You don't want to cover up what you already have there. And then that gets lost, and then you're sad. There. Just like that. How pretty is that, ladies? That's very pretty. But I want to have a little bit of green, just a little tiny bit of green sticking out here. So let's get these. I'm not even sure what these are. They're just some green stems that I got from Michael's. And I'm just going to kind of go underneath my floral. Just to put a couple of these in, just to give some green in there. Just like that. Just a little bit of green. Okay, just kind of hiding under there. Gotta have a little bit of green. I'm just gonna lift up these florals that I have right here and just feed this right underneath. Feed this green right underneath here. Kind of let it peek out from the bottom here. See that? Just a little bit of green underneath. Let me just do this. I'm going to stick it. And I'm going to go in after and glue all these. See how the green just kind of adds a little something there. A little something, something. I'm not sure if I want to add this one, but I'm thinking maybe I'll go around the outside with this other green stem, but that might be a little bit too much. Let me see. That might be a little bit too much green, but maybe not. Let's see. Let me hold that up and look at it. No, I like that a lot. I just put another bunch of green up here behind my florals. I don't want to add any more down here. I think I'm good with what's down here. I don't want to go too crazy. And ladies, that's it. We're done. That's really all there is to it. I've got a bunch more stuff that I could add. I've got sunflowers, but you don't want to go too crazy, like I said. Look how pretty that is. I got my mess on the floor here. Not a very attractive finishing shot to my video, seeing my mess on the floor. And you can fix your letters, and I might even glue my letters so they don't once it's hanging on the wall, you're okay, but these just make me crazy the way they just dangle and they get caught. There. That's it, ladies. Very easy, very simple project. That's it. I can't wait to see yours. Have a great afternoon. Talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye.